We hope you're enjoying all the great competition you're seeing here today. At the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union, we're grateful for the incredible support that makes this event possible. None more vital or valued than the proud title sponsor, Iowa Farm Bureau. With me here today is Brent Johnson, president of the Iowa Farm Bureau, to explain why their organization invests in and supports the Girls Union.
Thanks, Aaron. The Iowa Farm Bureau has been the title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union for more than 2 decades now. The athletes competing here today represent the very best of our nation's student athletes, driven, dedicated, and committed to teamwork. At the Iowa Farm Bureau, we share those same values. Our farmers lead the nation not only in the production of corn, hogs, eggs, and ethanol, but also in the implementation of a number of innovative soil and water conservation practices which hold soil in place and reduce runoff. These shared values unite Iowa's student athletes and farm families, and our partnership with the Girls Union gives us the perfect opportunity to celebrate that commitment to excellence statewide.
Thank you, Brent. We appreciate the Iowa Farm Bureau's ongoing support and the role you play in helping Iowa's girls shine.
2026 Iowa Girls High School State Softball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau. As we say good morning to you from Harlan and Hazel Rogers Sports Complex in Fort Dodge, Iowa, the home of the Girls State Softball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau. Alongside my cohort Laura Leonard, I am Brad Wells, and we have the first game of the tournament coming your way. We begin in Class 2A in this 10 o'clock game. The top-seeded Grandview Christian Thunder come in at 27-3, and the 8th-seeded Cardinal Comets 16-10 on the year. You see a statistical comparison between them and the 1 versus 8 seed. Laura, we saw examples of it last year. 8-seeded Bella went and won that 4A title. You come down here, it's time to play your best ball.
Oh, it is. I mean, you step foot in Fort Dodge and you know it's go time. I mean, you have to be ready to play. And yes, we're a double elimination tournament this year. So, yeah, a little room for error, but you want to be able to win and continue to progress through the bracket. So that 8 seed is ready to go.
As a look at our Sioux Cup stat comparison, our coverage all week long will be right here on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company. As we get ready for today's game, we go to the public address announcer for our team introductions. You are watching the 2026 Girls State Softball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau. As sole title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union, Iowa Farm Bureau is proud to champion our youth and all that they have to offer Iowa's future. We have the starting lineups. We have the national anthem. We are ready to go here on Hy-Vee Field. Here's a look at the Grandview Christian defensive starting lineup with Rogers, Pelham. Brooker will be your right fielder. Macy Brooker out in right with Bird and Vandersloot. On the left side of the infield, Beamer at second, Rosado at first base. Maya Murphy is behind the plate for Chloe Cox. The sophomore pitcher, two-time first-team all-conference selection, as leads the team with 19 wins and an ERA of 180 in the circle for Grandview Christian.
Oh, and she was pretty good, and really good. I shouldn't say pretty good, really good in regional play, and struck out 14 batters in those games, and really just has great command of her pitches, moves the ball around, has some good spin, and a little bit of speed with it.
And we'll get ready to go against the Cardinal batting order that begins with Bissell, LaRue, and Hickenbottom, 1, 2, 3. As a team, Laura, they hit over 300 for a batting average. You see those top four slots above 300 to really set the tone.
Yeah, and that's what you want to do. You want to set the table. You're going to be the leadoff team of this state tournament, so you want to set the tone right away. Try to get those top couple of hitters on, and then let the power come up behind them and move them around.
And so we get ready for our first pitch here alongside Laura Leonard. I am Brad Wells, the Class 2A field. Grandview Christian, the number one overall seed here in this 2A field, as Riverside, that number one ranked team, lost 3-2 in the regional final. Logan Magnolia ranked 11th in the state. They come in as the 6th seed. Two teams outside of the top 15 girls rankings, Laura, into the field here in Class 2A. The first pitch is outside by Cox.
Well, that's what you talked about, coming down the stretch of the season. There's a lot of games played from the end of May until the middle of July, and coming down the stretch, you want to be able to be playing your best softball.
Alex Bissell is the batter, the senior. 24 hits on the year to help her create that .375 batting average. As 10 RBIs, does have one home run on the season. As Cox working away in the zone.
And as you often see with a lot of teams, you got the lefty slapper up there. Infield is not really making a ton of adjustments. They're kind of closing in on the corners, though, just in case she may try to drop one down.
And there Cox works in a strike on the 3-0 pitch. So 3-1 now to Bissell, and that is outside for a leadoff walk here in the first game of this 2A field. And that brings up Summer LaRue, the senior shortstop. Made the final out defensively in the regional final. His older sister was on the 2023 team. First pitch strike from Cox to LaRue.
And she's a hitter that can hit to all fields. She can hit gappers. She leads this team in doubles. Looks like they're going to let her swing away, and
rips one just past the third baseman, Bird, and it's into left field for a single for Summer LaRue. Just a line drive getting right by that third baseman.
They weren't playing small ball. They were going after. They got that leadoff runner on. A lot of times you'll see teams bunt that runner into scoring position, but instead they're playing it. So let's get a big inning. Let's put a big number on the board to start this ball game.
McLean Hickenbottom is now the batter with two on and nobody out here in the first. And a first pitch strike delivered by Chloe Cox.
And this is their leader in RBIs. She is the one that will drive these runners in, and that's kind of what you're doing here is you're setting up things for the middle of your order.
Shows bunt early, puts it down right side of the infield, and Cox able to make the play defensively, flipping it to Rosado, but 2 runners now in scoring position after the bunt by Hickenbottom to advance both runners. And so 1 out, Sophia Brown comes to the plate. Brown, the sophomore third baseman for the Cardinal Comets.
Really good job of executing what they needed to do, getting that bunt down. A lot of times you'll see hitters kind of jab at it, pop it up, but she got it down and moved those runners along. And when you get into the state tournament, execution is important. You got to get those things done, the fundamentals, the little things.
Brown hits one into right field. That drops in front of Brooker out in right. It'll be an RBI single for Sophia Brown. And the Cardinal Comets are on the board here in the first inning.
Just exactly what they wanted to do, make a statement early on, and they got a nice little bloop hit, I will call it, and just over the outstretched glove of Beamer over there at second base into right field in front of Brooker and knocks in that first run.
So Autumn Surter to the plate. The senior hitting .276. She looks to put a bunt down, and it rolls foul. First base side.
If you're trying to get that run in, I don't think it was necessarily a squeeze, but I think if you're trying to get that runner in from third, you go right down that first base line, and she did try to direct that ball that way, just went foul.
See what she does here on the 0-1 pitch from Cox. Swings at strike 2. So Brown at first. After the RBI single, Summer LaRue at third. And now Maya Murphy, the catcher, runs over to the coaching staff. Quick conversation. There's the 0-2. That one is upstairs for ball 1.
Yeah, they're keeping runners at the corners as well, not moving that runner over from first base, and Brown trying to get her to second.
Surter waits on the changeup. It's caught at short by Vandersloot, and the double play, unable to get back to first, is Brown. Just couldn't quite reach that first base bag. And we head to the bottom of the first inning as you're watching the Iowa Girls High School State Softball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau here on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Yeah, it's a trip when you hit the road. And when you know when you've arrived. It's a trip when you get everything you want. The burger and the fries, the creek and the crick, the city and the countryside. It's a trip when you're where you're meant to be. In this moment, in this bathroom mirror, looking like $1 million. And yeah, it's a trip when it goes by fast. Des Moines. It's a trip. Make it yours.
We'll go back to the opening game of the 2026 Iowa Girls High School State Softball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau. Livy Vandersloot, the shortstop, to lead things off. Shows bunt, pushes it foul, third base side. Libby made a double play to end the top of the first inning when it looked like Cardinal was going to start the game with a huge inning. They get just one run on 2 hits and leave one stranded thanks to the double play on the line drive, catch out, throw out by Vandersloot. And
you kind of look back on that. They chose not to advance that runner from first to second. They kept them at the corners. And not to say that they wouldn't have been able to turn a double play, but you have that play right in front of you if you're at second base. Wouldn't have ventured so far off of second base, and maybe it wouldn't have been out of the inning.
That's chopped foul as well. 1 ball, 2 strikes now for the leadoff batter, Vandersloot.
Vandersloot has a lot of speed and trying to put this ball in play, see if she can use those legs to beat something out in the infield.
And that is a swing and miss at strike 3. We've got an illegal pitch called. Hang tight as Vandersloot may be coming back to the batter's box. McLean Hickenbottom, the junior. Anna Simpson in her first year as head coach. Played at Fairfield, made state as a player, continued her softball career in college at Indian Hills and Western Illinois University.
And they're looking at, I'm guessing, how Hickenbottom comes off of the rubber. And there was some discussion there if she's losing contact, coming airborne. I'm not sure exactly what they were talking about for that illegal pitch.
So it should be 2-2 count now. And that is fouled straight back, just getting a piece.
You know, sometimes in those situations you give a hitter an extra chance. It kind of comes back to bite you. So see if they can bear down and get the out that they thought they had.
And Vandersloot, the leadoff hitter, hitting .495 on the season this year. Chops one to the shortstop, and Summer LaRue had trouble getting it out of her glove, and a throw went into the dirt. It'll be a leadoff base runner for Vandersloot.
And that's what speed will do for you. As a fielder, you know you have speed coming down the line, so you got to pick that ball cleanly out of your glove, and had a little trouble doing that. And that's the throw in the dirt.
So E6, I believe, is how I would mark that. Looked like they would have got Vandersloot at first with a good throw and a first pitch strike to Maya Murphy.
Vandersloot over there at first is the career record holder in stolen bases for Grandview Christian.
She's going to continue her playing career at the University of Northwestern St. Paul. Maya Murphy. She's a catcher. Here's a note, too, for Maya Murphy, Laura, going back to the top of the first, wondering about stealing second. Coach's comment on Maya Murphy, who's the batter here for Grandview Christian. She's the Thunder catcher, has a great arm. Teams don't run on her very much, so you got sometimes you get to the state tournament, you got to push things a little bit, but you also don't want to run yourself out of opportunities. And here, headed down to second base, is Vandersloot with a stolen base.
Got a great jump and ran on a good pitch as well. It was a tough one for Surter to handle back there to even try to get off a good throw.
So 2-2 is the count. And that's a foul ball up and in on Murphy. And while it wouldn't have gone down as a check swing, it did get a piece of the bat. Hickenbottom delivers. That one is low, and the count runs full here on Murphy. Vandersloot at second. An error on LaRue at shortstop. allowed Vandersloot to get on, and a stolen base has her at second. Here's the 3-2 to Murphy. Right back up the middle. Hickenbottom gets the out at first. And advancing to third is Vandersloot. What a snag there in the circle by McLean Hickenbottom.
Good job of just being ready as you get rid of that ball as a pitcher to field your position, sticks that glove out, and it was a hard-hit ball up the middle. Had thoughts of maybe going after Vandersloot, but realized let's just get the out. Don't try to complicate things.
Sophie Bird, the batter, just a freshman, but, Laura, she is not hitting like a freshman. .438 for a batting average. How about 33 runs driven in? And second most home runs on the team with 6 this season. Here's the 1-0, and that's a strike on the outside corner.
And just going through the program and looking at all the teams, all the classes, there is so much young talent here in the state of Iowa. And you look at the 8th graders that are playing, the freshmen that are playing, all have had huge impacts on their team.
And Bird puts a bunt down. The throw comes home, and it is off target and gets away from Surter. And advancing all the way to second is Sophie Bird, squared up for the sacrifice bunt. And we are tied at 1 as Vandersloot scores.
And that's how you manufacture that run, to get that run back that you gave up in the top of the first. A little speed, a little execution, fundamentals again, laying the bunt down, getting it down perfectly. And Hickenbottom took a little extra time looking at that throw to get it over to home plate and realized that she may have a shot and then rush that throw.
Big swing by Chloe Cox on the first pitch that she sees from Hickenbottom.
She will take some healthy cuts at the plate. Does a good job of helping herself, as the pitcher does a great job at the plate.
Heads up base running by Bird on that plate where Vandersloot scored. She ends up at second base as the throw home got away from Surter. So she is in scoring position here for Cox, who fouls it away, and the count remains no balls, 2 strikes. One out here in the bottom of the first. We are tied at 1. A swing and a miss, and that is a strike. One out here in the bottom of the first. We are tied at 1. A swing and a miss, and that is a strikeout for Hickenbottom, and there's 2 away.
Take some getting used to, as you say, all of us that have been coming up to Fort Dodge for so many years. Tradition kind of holds court here, but sometimes you got to kind of flow and change with the times, and I think people are going to grow to like it.
Here's a grounder right side. Rosado backed off of it, and a nice play by Leighton Beamer, the freshman second baseman, to come up and make that play basically where Rosado started defensively, but the ball spun towards first base, and Beamer able to flip it to Rosado just in time.
Great decision, too, by Rosado over there at first. Do you go? Because if your momentum's going the other way, you have to pick it and then try to beat that runner to the bag. So she backed off and let Beamer handle the duties.
A couple of freshmen on the right side of that Grandview infield.
Yeah, this Grandview team, fairly young, and several seniors on this team, but they returned all 9 starters from a year ago. So a very veteran, seasoned team, yet still a little young. So this is a team that people are going to have to watch out for the next several years.
Colby Sanner swings at strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike is the count here in the top of the second. Cox gets a ground ball right side. This will be Beamer once again, flipping to Rosado for the final 2 outs of the top of the second inning. 3 up, 3 down as we head to the bottom of inning number 2 here on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
Freedom Tire is proud to support the Iowa Girl through their sponsorship of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. With 6 locations around the metro, you're never far from getting you back or keeping you on the road. Our certified staff and state-of-the-art technology means you can take comfort knowing you've got the best work at the best prices. Give us a try at Freedom Tire, a proud supporter of the IGHSAU.
The bottom of the second inning begins with a foul ball straight back by Grace Cruz, the batter. The DP gets set to lead off the second inning. They're tied 1-1 here in the bottom of 2.
Cruz is a good contact hitter. That's what you like leading off here in the second inning. Somebody that can make some contact, put it in play, make the defense work. See if they can start a rally early.
We are here on Hy-Vee Field. And Laura, some renovations here in Fort Dodge. A couple of new fields in use here. And all of the Class 2A games will be played right here on Hy-Vee Field. So all 4 quarterfinals today and tomorrow's winner's bracket and loser's bracket will all be played here. And here's a base hit up the middle. Line drive single for Grace Cruz.
That ball seemed to gain elevation as it came off the bat, right over the top of Higginbottom's glove, and we're going to get a courtesy runner here for Cruz.
And it's going to be, looks like number 4. Macy Brooker, the flex, will come in for the DP to run. And so Leighton Beamer, the batter. The Thunder second baseman tries to put down a bunt. It rolls foul first base side. And Brooker will retreat to first. We'll do it again. No balls, 1 strike now.
Yeah, they utilize the power of the good hitter in Cruz, and then they flip them out with the flex and get the speed out on the bases, taking advantage of that situation.
Leighton Beamer showing just 34 at-bats on the season, hitting .294. 10 hits. Sometimes Laura, throughout the course of a season, you can work into a starting lineup. You can get hot. You can kind of earn a spot. And Beamer here in the 7th spot now, having a good at-bat. 2 balls, 1 strike.
There's always, it seems like, a player that starts out maybe as a courtesy runner or a pinch hitter, or maybe goes in for a little defense every once in a while, and then they just continue to work hard. They start hitting the ball. They get a little more confidence. The coaches get more confident in them, and they work their way into that starting lineup.
Take advantage of the opportunities that you're given, and sometimes you can earn some more chances.
I think a lot of times players look at it as a challenge, and how can I get better, and boy, I'm not getting the at-bats I want or the time in the field that I want. So what do I need to do to be able to to be able to be in the game a little bit more and challenge themselves and finally get that opportunity.
And so after a leadoff single by Cruz, it's a walk earned by Beamer, and now Morgan Pelham comes to the plate, and Hickenbottom in the circle. The junior pitcher with nobody out and 2 on faces Pelham. And Morgan Pelham here in this 8 spot, her batting average over 400. At 438. Big opportunity here. Shows bunt, pulls back as Hickenbottom misses low and inside.
Yeah, anymore, you can't sleep on the bottom part of a lineup because they've got those hitters that they put a little speed down there at the bottom. They put those good contact hitters. We're going to get a little meeting in the circle here. Talk about situations and what they need to do and maybe just settle the team down in general.
Well, you are watching the 2026 Girls State Softball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau as sole title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. Iowa Farm Bureau is proud to champion our youth and all that they have to offer Iowa's future. It's a meeting here. The Cardinal Comets 16-10 on the season. The 8th seeded team here at the state tournament. Hannah Simpson, her first year as head coach. Again, played at Fairfield and made it to state with the Trojans as a player in 2021. And a good pitch by Hickenbottom. This gets a strike here on Pelham. Now 1 ball, 2 strikes after the mound visit.
Well, Hickenbottom's a strikeout pitcher. Over the course of the 3 games in the regionals, she had 28 strikeouts over those 3 games. Got 1 there, and in crucial situations, she's able to make those pitches and get her team out of some tough things and with runners on base.
Struck out the last 2 batters in the first inning to get out of runner in scoring position as Rogers tries to put a bunt down. Jada Rogers here in the 9 spot comes up with Livy Vandersloot in the on-deck circle.
You can tell that this Grandview team, they really work on bunting because they do have speed, and they're trying to get the ball to the right side down that first base line. See if they can advance those runners. But so far, pitching by Hickenbottom has been really good. They've shown bunt on the first pitch, and then they're going back to swinging away.
No balls, 2 strikes now is the count. And Hickenbottom delivers, gets a strikeout. That's 4 straight strikeouts in terms of outs in this inning. A leadoff single by Cruz. Yeah, Brooker running at second base for Cruz. Leighton Beamer with a walk. Now back-to-back strikeouts. There's 2 down, and Livy Vandersloot, the batter. The senior shortstop. Check swing, pops 1 up left side of the infield, and making the catch is Malin Hickenbottom, and the Cardinal defense gets out of it as Grandview Christian had the first 2 runners aboard but could not push any across. We'll be back with more. You're watching the Iowa Girls State Softball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
Freedom Tire is proud to support the Iowa Girl through their sponsorship of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. With 6 locations around the metro, you're never far from getting you back or keeping you on the road. Our certified staff and state-of-the-art technology means you can take comfort knowing you've got the best work at the best prices. Give us a try at Freedom Tire, a proud supporter of the IGHSAU.
We continue here in this Class 2A opener as number 1 seed Grandview Christian and number 8 seed Cardinal in a 1-1 tie here as we head to the top of the third. As 9-1-2 comes to the plate here for the Cardinal Comets. And Bristol Albert is the batter. Albert, a junior, hitting over 200 on the season. Again, just some limited at-bats, just her 20th of the season. And this is a slap into right field, and over to make the catch is Macy Brooker, the sophomore.
Might be a little wind out there. You could see that ball kind of start to sail out to right field as Brooker came in on it and then had to retreat just a little bit. So now you have to start figuring some things out. It was overcast. Now the sun's starting to pop out. You can look at the flag, and it's blowing just a little bit. So conditions changing ever so slightly.
Yep. The wind blowing from the left field foul pole to the right field foul pole. Right off the bat, I thought that was going to be a gap base hit, but it twisted right to Brooker out in right. And a first pitch strike from Chloe Cox as we go back to the top of the order. Alexis Bissell, the batter, drew a walk, scored the Cardinal Comets' only run. This one's fouled back and out of play. Chloe Cox again in the circle. 19 wins for her, facing Bissell here. That one just misses up. Bissell, a senior. Center fielder trying to get things started here with 1 out in the third. And pops it up left side of the infield. Underneath it is Bird at third. And there's 2 away.
Well, you look at both of these teams, and both, yes, some seniors throughout the lineup, but a lot of young players that are contributing to both of these teams' seasons and just continuing to build on their tradition. And once you get to state, then that always becomes a goal the next season, especially when you have a lot of returners.
Summer LaRue, she slaps one into right field. This is a 2-out base hit for Summer LaRue, and she is 2 for 2. Had a single down the third baseline in the first inning.
Didn't waste any time going after that first pitch and took it to the opposite field. It was out over the plate on the outer corner, and she just went with it, stuck the bat out there and punched it to right field.
McLean Hickenbottom now the batter. This one is popped up to the right side of the infield. Underneath it easily is Beamer, the freshman second baseman. And a 2-out single by LaRue. Nothing else for the Cardinal offense, as we'll be back with the bottom of the third coming up right here on the Iowa Girls Digital Network, presented by Mid-American Energy Company.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Something exciting is growing on Iowa farms these days. Innovation. From tractors that seed, weed, and harvest with data-driven precision to drones that scout or plant cover crops to protect soil and water. Even our animals live in smart homes with round-the-clock care. Technology keeps your food safer, water cleaner, and makes us more sustainable. Because what we do here benefits everyone here. Life on the farm makes everyone's life better.
Thanks again to the Iowa Farm Bureau for presenting the 2026 Girls State Softball Tournament as sole title sponsor of Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. Farm Bureau recognizes athletic and academic achievement on the mat, on the field, on the court, and in the classroom, helping nurture Iowa's future leaders. Alongside Laura Leonard, I am Brad Wells as we are in the bottom of the third inning, a 1-1 game, as the top-seeded Grandview Christian Thunder and the 8th-seeded Cardinal Comets get this year's state tournament started. Grandview Christian, their first trip to the state softball tournament for the Cardinal, their 5th trip to state, their first appearance since 2005, a 21-year gap, as this Cardinal program, state champs back in 2003 and 2004.
So a little bit of a gap, but now kind of building that tradition back up, and where they can be that team that always makes it to Fort Dodge. And they've got a little tradition to rely upon and can look back in the history books and put the team together and say, yeah, we want to do that too.
Nice snag at short by LaRue. The throw over to first to Sander is in time to get Maya Murphy. A hard-hit ground ball up the middle by Murphy, but good play defensively by the Comets, and there's one away.
Well, that's really good, showing the range, keeping the glove down, staying with it, and then able to come up. All that momentum was going towards right field. Come up, get those feet planted, make a strong throw.
First pitch strike from Hickenbottom to Sophie Bird. Bird pushed the first run across on a play fielded by Hickenbottom in the circle. Hickenbottom threw it home to try and get Vandersloot racing in from third, but she was safe. The throw got away from the catcher. Bird ended up on second, where she would be stranded in this inning. And now behind the count, no balls, 2 strikes. And a swing and a miss for strike 3. There are 2 away, and that is strikeout number 5 for Hickenbottom.
Hickenbottom certainly has the ball moving, and it seems like she's getting to go after that pitch up in the zone, throwing a rise ball, and these hitters are trying to go after it.
First pitch down in the dirt to Chloe Cox. Cox took some healthy swings in her first at-bat, ultimately struck out back in the first inning. Now faces Hickenbottom here with 2 outs and a swing and a miss. And it's 1-1.
She doesn't get cheated on her swings. She really goes after it and wants to make contact, and always usually does get some good hard contact.
It's a swing and a miss. Hickenbottom in the circle, 179 strikeouts coming into the state tournament, and has 5 here in the first 3 innings.
Yeah, I think, what do we say, 28th in the regional play over 3 games, so she is certainly a strikeout pitcher.
Gets a pop-up here, left side of the infield. Brown, the third baseman, comes back in. The wind definitely becoming a factor here, but a nice play by Brown to end the inning. We'll be back. The 4th inning is upon us here at the Iowa Girls State Softball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau.
Yeah, it's a trip when you hit the road. And when you know when you've arrived. It's a trip when you get everything you want. The burger and the fries, the creek and the crick, the city and the countryside. It's a trip when you're where you're meant to be. In this moment, in this bathroom mirror, looking like $1 million. And yeah, it's a trip when it goes by fast. Des Moines. It's a trip. Make it yours.
Excelling in athletics takes teamwork, dedication, and a commitment to excellence. These are the same qualities that help our pig farmers and our communities thrive. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics and the student athletes who make us all proud. Visit iowapork.org/WeCare to meet the people behind the pork and hear about our winning approach to caring for our pigs, the environment, and our communities.
Welcome back to the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy. The 2026 State Softball Tournament, presented by Iowa Farm Bureau, is upon us. The opening game of the Class 2A field, and a game that was the first game to have their first pitch here on this opening Monday of action. Alongside Laura Leonard, I am Brad Wells. We are tied here in the top of the fourth inning. 4-5-6 comes to the plate for the Cardinal Comets, and a first pitch grounder booted by Vandersloos, and Sophie Brown is aboard for the second time today.
Boy, and that was a hard-hit ball, and it stayed down, then took a hop right at the end as Vandersloos was right there to field it, rolled up her arm, and she could not grab it to get it and make a clean throw.
And so we're going to have a pinch runner. And so we'll have a substitution here. All substitutions today brought to you by IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com. And I can't quite see the number on our runner over there at...
Everybody in the press box is trying to figure out that number over there at first base.
And to run for Sophie Brown, Autumn Surter is the batter. And so Surter lined out to shortstop in her last at-bat. There's the 0-1. Looks like a number 3 over there. Kyra LaRue. Possibly pinch run in here. Freshman for the Cardinal Comets. This is popped up and fouled away.
Well, opportunity to advance runners, put some speed in, move them to second base, see if you can push the go-ahead run across.
This one's down in the dirt. 2-2 is the count.
Murphy doing a good job of snagging that ball in the dirt, coming up ready to throw, and we haven't seen her try to throw a runner out yet, but watching her in warm-ups, she's got a gun back there.
Surter the batter. Here's the 2-2. Line drive up the middle, just past Cox. And the first two runners here in the fourth are aboard.
Hard hit right back up the middle, and Cox couldn't get the glove down. And now they've got something going.
So Brown, who reached on an error, Surter a single, and now Malin Hickenbottom, the batter. 2 on, nobody out. The Cardinal had that same situation in the first inning.
You're going to get the corners pinching in a little bit with nobody out there, thinking bunt defensively. Didn't show it right there.
Hickenbottom grounded out to Rosado at first in her last at-bat. That led off the second inning. Watches that one off the plate. Now 2 balls, no strikes.
Yeah, defense in that first inning able to come up big for Grandview Christian, get them out of that situation. At the big double play.
There's the 2-0. That's fouled away. Good battle here by Malin Hickenbottom. The freshman hitting .298, has 10 RBIs on the season, and just 1 extra base hit. Here's the 2-1. That one is inside, and that nearly hit Hickenbottom. Instead, it's 3-1.
Boy, that was very close. Sometimes those you're like, ooh, do I stay in there and try to wear that one and load up the bases? She turned away from it.
Here's the 3-1, and that one misses down low for Cox, and it's Malin Hickenbottom drawing a walk here in the 4th, and now the first 3 batters are aboard, and a visit by Grandview Christian head coach Krista DeMolinaire in year number 4 out for a visit.
This is I always kind of figure these are like the 30-second timeout in basketball where you just have to kind of step away from things, take a little time, talk to everybody, make sure everybody's on the same page. You know you have bases loaded, you have nobody out. Where's everybody going if the ball comes to them? Outfield out there, they're all gathered together talking about strategy as well. And so this is a very crucial time in this ball game, and a lot of pressure here being put upon that number 1 seed.
And Mavrin Hickenbottom, the 8th grader, due up here in this 4th inning. Looks at a first pitch out of the zone. Mavrin grounded out to Beamer, the second baseman, in her first at-bat of the game.
They're pulling in the infield a little bit. You have to come home if it's a ground ball on the infield.
Here's the 1-0, a swing and a miss, and it's 1-1. And if you're Cox in the circle, too, you can't award another free pass, so you got to go attack the hitters, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. You can't be afraid to oh, did I just miss the corner here or there? You got to go after these hitters. Let the defense work behind you. Really coming in at the corners as Hickenbottom was showing bunt, and Bird was almost up there shaking hands with her.
Saw Hickenbottom kind of look towards third, or maybe the third base coach's box, pulled it back. Now 1 ball, 2 strikes as Cox delivered a strike. This is slapped into right field, and it is off the edge of the glove of Macy Brooker. 1 run is in to score, and the second runner being sent home. Surter scores a 2-run RBI for Mavrin Hickenbottom, who ends up on second base. How about her second double of the season, coming in a perfect time? Extra base hits in today's game are brought to you by Channel Seeds. The enhanced Channel Seed brand is here to help farmers like you up your game and rise to the challenge. Learn more at channel.com/rise.
Again, I think maybe the wind played a little bit of a problem with that ball out to right field as Brooker came in on it, and then it kind of sailed away from her, went off of her glove.
Sander with a dribbler to the right side of the infield. That's going to push another run across as Sander gets retired by Beamer. The second baseman makes the throw, and that is out number 1. But 3 runs in now. And Bristol Albert is the batter. 1 out here, another opportunity to push another run across as Maverick Hickenbottom stands at third. This is a pop fly, shallow center field, and a running catch is made. And diving back to third is Maverick Hickenbottom, and she's safe to avoid the double play. What a play in center by Morgan Pelham.
Really great play. Came in, got that ball off her shoe tops, and over there at third, Hickenbottom had already come up the line about a third of the way. It danced in between. Do I go? Do I come back and tag? What do I do? Finally, the catch was made, and boy, she had to hustle back to third.
So top of the order, Alexis Bissell looks at a first pitch strike. It looked like it was going to be a sure thing base hit, and then all of a sudden Pelham just turns on the jets, makes the catch. And as shallow as it was, I don't know if Maverick would have scored if she was tagging up. That's fouled straight back. No balls, 2 strikes now on the leadoff batter. Bissell comes up now with 2 outs, runner on third, and 3 runs in here in the 4th inning for the 8th-seeded Cardinal Comets.
Well, you look at on paper, and as you always do, you look at the seeds and you go, oh, the 1 seed, 8 seed. This should be pretty easy for the 1 seed.
Oh, what a catch there by Cox. Keeps that last run off the board, but 3 runs are in for the Cardinal Comets. We will come back as an opportunity to answer. As the Thunder in the bottom of the 4th. You're watching the Iowa Girls State Softball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Looks like another perfect day to get out there and enjoy the summer.
Or before she gets in the car, it's easy to choose. P-E-R-F-E-C-T. P-E-R-F-E-C-T. Come on, baby, you look good on me. If you see what I can see, W-D-O-D.
Iowa State Fair, August 13th through the 23rd.
Class 2A state tournament is underway. Our opening game, top-seeded Grandview Christian. The Thunder taking on the Cardinal Comets here in our first game of the day. And we are in the bottom of the 4th inning. A huge 3-run top of the 4th for the Cardinal Comets. And the Thunder an opportunity to respond here. Harper Rosado, the first baseman, will lead us off here in the 4th. Struck out in her first at-bat. As McLean Hickenbottom in the circle. She has cranked up some strikeouts, Laura. Now 5 Ks through the first 3 games and a first pitch swing and miss.
And now the 3-1 cushion, or 3-run cushion that she has, going to give her a little bit more confidence to really attack this zone.
This is slapped left field and just foul by a foot. Harper Rosado just about had an extra base hit.
Well, we have seen Hickenbottom really come after these hitters and working inside and out, and then especially going to that rise ball to get strikeouts.
Oh, 2 is upstairs.
Tried to get her to go after one right there and really out of the zone, but you have to try to be able to level that swing off, and you could see that practice swing trying to get to that level of where a rise ball might be so you can barrel it up.
There's the 1-2. Hickenbottom put a little something extra on that. Couldn't keep it close to the zone. 2-2, the count. Hey, look at this Cardinal Comets season, Laura, too, at 16-10. You might think, okay, is this a team that that got hot late. Well, they lost 4 of their last 5 games before the tournament got started. As losses to Mount Pleasant, Eddyville, Blakesburg, Fremont, Clark, Centerville. They defeated Davis County. They've been in a lot of close games recently, though, too.
And a lot of it for this Cardinal team, they do a lot of mental preparation for ball games. They go through a mental toughness packet before each game and figure out what they need to do and work through things like, okay, so what happened there? Okay, so what? Move on, go to the next pitch and figure things out. Flush it mentality. And that comes a lot from, I think Coach Hannah Simpson learned that from Coach Lindsay Dial at Drake. That's always been her philosophy of those things, and I think that works.
And this is a hit batter as Grace Cruz hit by the pitch right on the forearm, and she heads down to first. And Coach Simpson out to ask if it hit the knob of the bat and was a foul ball or if it did hit the arm. Excellent umpire crews down at the state tournament, too. Laura, you get the best of the best that are graded all through the season that come down here, get to work the state tournament. A swing and a miss by Leighton Beamer.
And they're going to get a lot of work this week with all the games that are going to be played with the double elimination. So they're gonna get a lot of games under their belt over the next 5 days.
It was the 0-1 and makes it 1-1. Well, Beamer drew a walk back in the second inning. And looks at strike 2. So Cruz is at first. As Hickenbottom with 1 out. Had a pitch a little too inside, and that's a slap into right field. That's down for a base hit. Cruz stays at second, and Leighton Beamer with her first hit of the state tournament. She is on board for the second time today.
Just enough to get it over the infield and drops into right field, and there you go, and station base by base, just trying to climb back into it, at least try to get 1 run back. That's got to be kind of the mentality, see if you can get 1 run back here of that big inning that you gave up in the top of the inning.
Pelham now the batter. First pitch from Hickenbottom is low of the zone. 1 out here, 2 runners aboard for Grandview Christian. Pelham struck out in her first at-bat. Swing and a miss there. 1-1 the count.
She's got some speed as well, so don't be surprised if she doesn't try to lay it down. Defense is playing back on the left side of the field.
Swing and a miss, strike 2.
She's having a little trouble adjusting to these pitches. I just don't think seeing it well coming out of Hickenbottom's hand.
Here's the 1-2. Gets just a piece of that one. Grandview Christian trying to answer after the Comets scored 3 runs in the top of the 4th to take a 4-1 lead.
And this is how you want your team to respond. You give up the 3 runs, and you want to be able to put some pressure back on that defense. They're doing it here. They just need to find that key hit.
Here's the 1-2 to Pelham, and another strikeout for Hickenbottom. Her second of the inning and her 7th of the game.
And she has come up with some big pitches at some key times to get the strikeout.
So 2 outs now here in the fourth. Jada Rogers trying to keep the rally rolling for the Thunder and trying to get to the top of the order. Rogers struck out in her first at-bat. And time is called. Let's us remind you that Farm Bureau knows that strong, vibrant schools are the cornerstone of our communities. That's why they're proud to be the title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union and this amazing girls state softball tournament. They believe that by investing in our youth, we are investing in Iowa's future. This is chopped right back to Hickenbottom. Fields it in front of the circle, makes the throw to first. And so 2 runners get aboard for Grandview Christian, but the Cardinal defense locks it down. We'll step aside, and we will be back. The 5th inning when we return here on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Excuse me, man. You dropped this.
We move to the 5th inning here at the Iowa Girls State Softball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau. 4-1 is the score as the Cardinal Comets at the plate. First pitch, grounder. It is fair, fielded at third by Sophie Bird, and Summer LaRue is retired on 1 pitch. Kind of a slow roller, tough play, but a nice play made by Bird.
Yeah, really good play by Bird as she charged it hard. And then I was watching over there at first base, Rosado, just how calm she was over at first, just like, I'm ready for it, bring it on, and stepped on the corner of the bag, and they got the out. I mean, it was very close. No panic over there whatsoever.
Well, sometimes those full swings that look like one of those perfectly placed bunts or a little dribbler down the line, those are tough on the defense.
They really are.
McLean Hickenbottom is the batter now with 1 out. 2 balls, no strikes, the count. For Hickenbottom at the plate, a sac bunt in the first, and popped out to Beamer, the second baseman, in the 3rd inning. We'll try and get something started here with 1 out in the 5th. Hit up the middle. Vander Sluice at short makes the throw across the diamond in time. There's 2 away.
Keeping the ball down in the zone, getting some ground ball outs. Defense getting into position, doing a good job of showing off the range and showing off arms.
For Grandview Christian, their mantra this season is "We over me." 4 seniors and 1 senior manager, been playing together since they were 11. All players, freshmen, do leadership training in the offseason, as you mentioned.
They like to have a little pressure, too. They said pressure is a privilege. They've got a little pressure right now. They've got to try. They're in a pressure cooker. Going to have to try to work their way out of it.
Down 3 runs. Sophie Brown's the batter for the Comets. Sophie Brown, the sophomore, had a 2-run home run against 13th ranked Pleasantville in their 2-0 win in this regional semifinal before they got to Interstate 35.
I think 5 RBIs in that game, maybe. I know she had 5 RBIs in one game.
That I think that was the Lamoni game when they
Was
had
the second game?
Yeah, the 10-8 win over Lamoni for their regional opener.
Either way, she's swinging a hot bat.
Well, yeah, I was going to say Pleasantville. That was a 2-0 ball game,
Right,
so her
right,
two-run home run was
Ooh.
it. Ooh, got around on that one. Home run distance, but foul for Sophie Brown.
You think just talking about it just kind of helps that hitter?
Reminded her she's a home run hitter.
Oh, yeah. Can swing it.
Oh, yeah. Swing hard. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Brown. Cox trying to get out of it here. Trying to paint the corner. Just missed. Another punch out.
Cox wanted that one. Thought she had the perfect placement on that to get the strikeout.
Excuse me. Cox looking for what would be her first strikeout of the game. Cardinal putting everything in play here. And Brown looks at one inside, earns the walk, and a 2-out base runner here for the Comets. And Autumn Surter is the batter. Surter with a single back in the 4th. She would score the second run of the inning.
Cox has tried that location several times over the last 3 or 4 pitches, not getting that call. Need to make that adjustment, working that inside corner.
There's the 1-0. That one's in there for a strike.
And they did. They just moved in just an inch to the inner part of the plate and were able to get that call.
That one gets away from Murphy down to second. Goes Brown, and the throw by Murphy as it bounced kind of right back towards her as she was heading towards that third base dugout.
What a great backup, though, by Beamer. She was back up behind second base, and that ball sailed on Murphy, and she was right there. Otherwise, that ball was going out into the outfield and maybe all the way to the fence.
And you don't always anticipate a throw to second on a ball that gets past the catcher all the way to the backstop. So it's 2-1 is the count on Surter. Hits it left side. Bobbled at third by Bird and unable to pick it up cleanly. And everyone is safe. And Brown advances to third base on the play.
It's a tough hop for Bird. And then she couldn't find the ball after that initial bobble. Decides to go to third. Made it close over there on Brown as Brown goes in head first.
Go down as just the second error of the game for this Grandview Christian defense. It's a tough hop. Looked like it just caught the heel of the glove and bounced up and then just couldn't recollect it. Looked like even if she recollected it, might have been able to zip it over to first. Instead, Malin Hickenbottom will have an opportunity here with runners on the corners and 2 outs in the top of the 5th inning.
Good job by Murphy behind the plate. That ball was wide, and she got up quickly and saved that ball from going to the backstop.
Grounder right side will go foul. Hickenbottom walked in the 4th. She scored a run in that inning. She also grounded out to the first baseman back in the 2nd inning. This Cardinal Comets team, their first appearance at state since 2005. This has popped up and it'll be out of play. They finished 5th in the South Central Conference, Laura, and as we talked about, played in some close games towards the end of the season and then just finding ways to win in the regional finals, winning 10-8, winning 2-0, defeating Interstate 35 5-3. And here a 4-1 lead over the number 1 overall seed in this Class 2A field. Hickenbottom, the 1-2, gets just a piece of it to stay alive.
Good off-speed pitch and a good battle at the plate as Hickenbottom just goes out there and spoils it. But you're right, and, number 8 seed coming in, going, hey, let's just play relaxed. Let's go after this number 1 seed. We have an opportunity to come back through the brackets if we don't win this ball game. And so they're playing very relaxed right now.
Cox gets the strikeout. That's her first strikeout of the game and gets out of a jam with runners on the corner. So no runs in for the Cardinal in the top of the 5th. We head to the bottom of the 5th as Grandview Christian to the plate when we come back here on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Life's buzzing with energy. From the delightfully routine, to the novel and exciting, to the truly uncharted. With all that life brings, it's easy to lose track of what powers all those moments, our health. At Mercy One, our caring doctors focus on just that, powering health, from the everyday to the extraordinary. So you're ready for what life brings next. Find care at mercyone.org/healthpowerslife.
Something exciting is growing on Iowa farms these days. Innovation. From tractors that seed, weed, and harvest with data-driven precision to drones that scout or plant cover crops to protect soil and water. Even our animals live in smart homes with round-the-clock care. Technology keeps your food safer, water cleaner, and makes us more sustainable. Because what we do here benefits everyone here. Life on the farm makes everyone's life better.
Entering the bottom of the 5th inning, Grandview Christian comes to the plate, and they have the top of the order coming up. Livy Vandersloos will play college ball at University of Northwestern in St. Paul, and chops this one just foul down that third base side. Livy reached on an error, scored a run in the first inning, and popped out in the second inning. And has an opportunity here to get something started. The senior shortstop at the plate has done so much this season, hitting .495 for an average. Puts a bunt down as, out at first. How about the play from the circle by McLean Hickenbottom?
Boy, she had to throw a bullet over to first base and had to get rid of it quickly as Vandersloos was hustling down the line. And it was almost perfectly placed bunt. I mean, it was in a great
Just
spot.
about got past her.
Yeah. And a great play by Hickenbottom.
So Maya Murphy is the batter. 2 ground outs in her first 2 at-bats. Hits a grounder, a diving stop by LaRue, but LaRue unable to make the throw. That's an infield single for Maya Murphy. Hard hit ball in that 5-6 hole.
Yeah, very hard hit, and LaRue was kind of shading more up the middle, and that left a little bit bigger gap between third and short, but a nice job of keeping that on the infield. Able to lay out and glove it.
It's just the third hit of the game for Grandview Christian. See if they can take advantage as Sophie Bird fouls the first pitch back for strike 1.
Showing bunt, making the defense come in, and then pulling that bat back, swinging away.
That one misses the zone. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Hickenbottom in the circle has been so good. Every time that Grandview Christian has gotten runners on base, they have been able to get out of it.
Here's a laser to left field, tailing foul, and it lands about 4 feet foul. Sophie Bird turned on one, and it simply goes down as a long strike. Grandview Christian fans jump to their feet after it left the bat.
Just got out on that front foot. Couldn't hold the hands back enough to get it down the line and get it in fair territory.
There's the 1-2, and Bird takes it right on the leg, gets the free pass. And there's 2 aboard here with 1 away now for the Thunder. Second hit batsman of the game for Hickenbottom. And Chloe Cox now the batter with 2 on. Down 3 runs.
And this is where you start chipping away at it, get that first run across, cut into that lead. You still have some time, but it's crucial now. You've had opportunities throughout this ballgame, have not been able to knock those runners in. This time you have to do it.
It's a big swing and a miss. Chloe Cox, 5 home runs on the season, 42 runs driven in. It doesn't have to be a home run, Laura. You'd think a 3-run bomb would tie it, but here's a pop-up, and backing up towards the backstop is Surter, and foul ball lands on the netting right above the fans, straight behind home. Hangs in the net right up above our window here as we are straight back.
You're going to climb out there and help them out?
Between innings. I'll crack a window and wiggle out there.
Do your tightrope act.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch to Cox. Cox able to hold, misses inside.
Now, Hickenbottom has been able to go to that rise ball and get these hitters out. See if she goes to that now with 2 strikes.
That's a foul ball. Just getting a piece was Cox. That ball was dropping, and Cox just stayed alive.
Cox can tie it up with 1 swing. I mean, she takes a pretty hefty cut, and if she gets one and can barrel it up, it can go out of here in a hurry.
There's the 2-2. That's a flare into left field. That will be a single and will load the bases here in the 5th.
Good battle at the plate. Went down and got that, and soft liner out to left field. Loads them up, and now Cardinals got to be smart about how they approach things defensively.
And we will have a courtesy runner, number 14, Lydia Larwick, the 8th grader, in to run at first base for the pitcher, Chloe Cox.
And defensively, you have to start thinking, you're going to draw this infield in, try to get the play at the plate, but are you willing to maybe give up 1 run to get an out here in this situation?
This is a pop fly. This turns foul for Harper Rosado. As Rosado, the team leader in home runs, has 10 on the season, also has more runs driven in than any other Thunder player this season, and comes up in a huge opportunity here with the bases loaded. And Rosado takes it on the elbow guard, and that will be 1 run driven in for Rosado. And the 3rd hit batsman of the game, the 2nd here in this inning.
We're going to have a meeting. I think it's time to settle the team down, and so does Coach Simpson. Time to go out and just have a little chat with everybody. You can tell that they're starting to get a little tight, a little keyed up as you get later in this ball game. You've got the lead. Now Grandview Christian has the pressure on with bases loaded, and they've put 1 run on the board.
Rosado draws the hit by pitch, trot to first base. Grace Cruz will be the batter. The DP, Laura, a single up the middle and was hit by a pitch. She's been on both times. Leighton Beamer is in the on-deck circle. She has a walk and a single. So 2 runners that have jumped on base in both at-bats, now coming to the dish here for the Thunder. Cruz, a kid that Coach DeMolinaire says always makes contact, pushes it right side. A nice scoop and backhand flip by Sparks to get the out at first, but pushing another run in is Grace Cruz.
Well, a productive out is you hit it to the right side of the field, and again, Sparks showing the range, able to get there and pick that ball up and get the out. So they get the out, but they give up the run, and Grandview Christian gets a little closer.
Beamer looks at a first pitch strike. And Beamer a single to right field in her last at-bat. Found her way aboard both times. Larwick at third, the courtesy runner for Cox, and Rosado at second for Grandview Christian. Grounder up the middle. It gets past Hickenbottom, but LaRue is there to make the throw across the diamond for out number 3. 2 runs have pushed across on 2 hits for Grandview Christian, and it is a 1-run game. 4-3 as we head to the 6th inning.
SWIC is a community. Southwestern Community College is a place in rural southwest Iowa where students from across the world come to be a part of a tight-knit family, Spartan Nation, where they study, train, grow, thrive, and are called by name, not by number. At SWIC, we are one.
We enter the 6th inning with a 1-run game. 4-3. 4-3 is our score as Grandview Christian, Laura, in the bottom of the 5th, able to answer with 2 runs there to make it a 1-run ball game.
Well, they put the pressure on, and they were able to get the key moments and the key hits and able to hit by pitch, push or run across. And so they did what they needed to do to climb a little bit closer. And now Cardinal going to try to get another insurance run here if they can.
So 7-8-9 comes to the plate here for the Cardinal Comets. Maverick Hickenbottom, the DP, will lead things off. A ground out and a 2 RBI double for Hickenbottom. And Cox ahead early. No balls, 2 strikes.
Now a little momentum shift has gone over to the Grandview side, and Cox maybe a little more confident in the circle, knowing that they are that much closer to trying to be able to overtake the lead.
And a grounder left side. That is fielded by Bird. A good job defensively cutting that ball off. And a clean throw over to first for out number 1.
Yeah, really good decision because that was a slow roller. If you let that go through all the way to Vandersloot, that's going to be a base hit.
Note for any third basemen that are watching this broadcast, any ball you can get to, go get it. Even if the shortstop's saying, mine, mine, mine. If you can scoop it, you're going to have a lot more time to make that throw across the diamond than the shortstop will. Colby Sanner is the batter, swings it strike 1.
Well, and your momentum's going that way, too,
Yeah.
towards first base, where the shortstop is going to have to go away from that play. And so you're right, go after anything that you can get into that 5-6 hole.
The swing, that's fouled off the leg of Sanner. Sanner's made some good contact, 2 ground outs, does have an RBI in her ground out back in the 4th inning. Pushed the 3rd run of that inning across. Here's the 0-2, fouled straight back. Grandview's Chloe Cox, 107 strikeouts on the season coming into the state tournament, has one here against this Cardinal lineup where they have made contact top to bottom. They've got hitters. They do have one strikeout in this game, but everybody's getting a piece of it, putting the ball in play.
Yeah, they're battling at the plate, and they are going up being aggressive. Hitter's mentality, not going to let that pitcher overpower them.
Even that one, Sander reaching for it, making contact. As Cox able to make the play, you at least make the defense or force the defense to make a good scoop, make a good throw.
Yeah, and you never know when somebody might throw one in the dirt or take a little something off the throw and they don't get it over to first base to get the out. And so you're right, put it in play, make them work defensively. Don't just stand up there and let the pitcher do all the work.
So Bristol Albert is the batter, and the first pitch grounds it to Rosado at first. 3 up, 3 down. As the Grandview Christian Thunder, after scoring 2 runs in the 5th, a quick inning defensively, they'll be back to the plate here in the 6th. This is the Iowa Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Ready? Let's go.
Mom, over here. Yeah, this kind of thing can happen when you're hiking, but no worries, Mom. I can prescribe something to soothe the itch.
Unity Point Health looks at your family's health from your point of view, offering same-day appointments with expertise focused on what matters most to you. Unity Point Health, expert care focused on you.
You are watching the Iowa Girls State Softball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau here on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company. Alongside Laura Leonard, I am Brad Wells, bringing you the first game of the Class 2A field as the number 1 overall seed Grandview Christian Thunder trailing the Cardinal Comets by 1 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And the Thunder finding some success in the 5th inning. They'll have 8-9-1 to the plate here in inning number 6. It'll start with Morgan Pelham. As facing a pitcher, McLean Hickenbottom, with 7 strikeouts in this game thus far.
She's going to need to dig deep to try to find that form again. I think this Grandview team has adjusted to that rise ball. They're laying off of it, so she's going to have to come in with some pitches.
Gets a strike there. 1 ball, 1 strike is the count. Hickenbottom has pitched in 117 of the 139 innings this season for the Comets. The junior, 11-7 is the record.
And a team that peaking at the right time, played strong down the stretch and into once they got into tournament play.
2-1 misses upstairs. 3 balls and a strike on the leadoff hitter here in the 6th, Morgan Pelham. Pelham with a strikeout in each of her first 2 at-bats. Trying to find a way aboard, and that's a called strike. The count runs full on Pelham, the senior center fielder, hitting .438 on the year. Here's the 3-2. That one is fouled away.
You don't want to put this leadoff hitter on if you're Cardinal, so you know as a hitter you're going to get some good looks here at these pitches on the full count.
There's the 3-2. That one is fouled away. Cardinal, we mentioned, out of the South Central Conference, taking 5th place out of Wapello County for Grandview Christian. They took 1st place. They went 16-0 in the Heart of Iowa Conference. Their 2nd year in the conference. Took 2nd last year. Here is the full count strikeout as Pelham goes down looking, and Hickenbottom has strikeout number 8.
Good placement on that pitch, and it was a good battle at the plate. Hickenbottom able to get the strikeout, and she has done that so often here in this ballgame.
Jada Rogers pulls back the bunt for ball 1. Rogers a strikeout and a ground out. Squares shows bunt. And the out is made. Well, is there a catch or no catch? It looked like the covering second baseman Sparks caught it, and then the ball got knocked out. I saw obstruction called behind by the home plate umpire, too, as the batter. Here's another look at it.
Great bunt. And you can't see the umpire, but the umpire does put out the arm for obstruction.
And they're having a conversation just in front of where the second baseman stands. They're talking through it, so could be. Now the defense has a right to the ball, and the runner has a right to that running lane as well. This is.
Well, and the running lane has to be on the outside part of the chalk line,
Yep.
and so I think that's where the adjustment was made defensively, as we'll get another look at it here. Good bunt, and then the adjustment, she's running inside that lane into the play.
And they're calling Rogers out for interfering on the defender. You saw that first baseman have to jab step to kind of avoid Rogers, and I think that's what the call is.
And there's some question. And as you would, as a coach, you'd come out and ask for the explanation, as Coach DeMolinaire asks.
And so 2 outs now, and we go to the top of the order here in the 6th. Livy Vandersloot, the batter. Scored the first run of the game. Looks at strike 1. As a pop out and a ground out. When she scored her run, she reached on an error. Here's a grounder, slow roller. LaRue from short makes the throw just in time to get the speedy Vandersloot. And a 3-up, 3-down, bottom of the 6th. We head to the 7th, a 1-run ball game here in the Class 2A opener. We will be back with more on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Final inning here of this Class 2A opener as the 8th-seeded Cardinal Comets with a 1-run lead over the top-seeded Grandview Christian Thunder. As head coach Hannah Simpson in year number 1 as head coach, making the first trip to the state tournament since 2005 with this Cardinal Comets team. Trying to get that first state tournament win since the early 2000s.
Well, they certainly have that tradition dating back. It's been a while, but you get a first-year coach in there that brings in some new thoughts, new ideas, new traditions, and gets everybody on the same page, and has them here playing at state with a team that's got a lot of players that will be coming back next season as well.
Alexis Bissell will lead things off. It's the top of the order coming to the plate, and a pop-up to center field. Underneath it to make the catch is Morgan Pelham for out number 1. So Summer LaRue, the shortstop, now comes to the plate. LaRue 2 for 3 in this contest. A base hit down the left field line, a base hit down the right field line. She was stranded at third back in the first inning and remained at first base at the end of the third inning. Grounded out in the fifth. There's the 1-0. This one is popped up, and the catcher, Murphy, giving chase and just unable to get to it.
I don't know if she could locate it right away. I think she had a little trouble. It wasn't that far up in the air off the bat, and I think she couldn't find it right away, and once she did, gave effort, but just out of her reach.
And that one drops out of the zone. 2 balls and a strike.
Boy, that's a tough one to take. I was up here. I thought, oh, she's going to get called out on that, letting that one go. But obviously has a better vantage point than I do.
And that 2-1 pitch is upstairs. So 3 balls, 1 strike on LaRue from Chloe Cox, the sophomore pitcher, trying to hold this Cardinal Comets offense at just a 1-run lead. Here's a base hit into right center. That is down for a gapper around first. Headed for second is LaRue. A 1-out double here in the 7th as Cardinal will try and put together some insurance runs.
Looking for that insurance run right now, and a gapper got it up in the air, and good chase by Brooker out there, just out of her reach, but this is exactly where you want to be. You have a runner in scoring position, want to try to push that run across.
All extra base hits in today's game are brought to you by Channel Seeds. The enhanced Channel Seed brand is here to help farmers like you up your game and rise to the challenge. Learn more at channel.com/rise. 1-out double by Summer LaRue, and McLean Hickenbottom now to the plate. Hickenbottom with a sac bunt in the first. A pop out and a ground out. Runner in scoring position here, and a first pitch strike from Cox.
Just looked down at Coach Simpson, and she kind of went, yeah, okay, you took one. But now let's move on to the next pitch, and I think that's kind of some of their mental toughness training that they work with.
Changeup from Cox misses outside. Sometimes if you're a batter, you can have a called strike, and it can be a good take, right? If you've got something on the edge, especially if you don't need to protect, if it's not a ball you don't think you can do damage with. Here's a fly ball, deep right field. Brooker headed towards the corner, and kind of a soft tag up by LaRue. She will stay at second base, and there's 2 away.
Yeah, that was kind of in between. Do I tag up? Do I go halfway? And she was dancing out there between second and third. And I'm up here saying, get back, tag up, because you got to make them make that throw from right field.
So Sophie Brown comes to the plate now with 2 outs and a runner on second. Brown has reached all 3 times. Got a single in the first, reached on an error in the fourth, and walked in the 5th inning. First pitch strike from Cox here in inning number 7. The Comets looking for an insurance run, and that one drops off the table. Missing the zone, 1-1.
Earlier at bat, we saw her that she could certainly lace one out of here, got a hold of one, pulled it foul, but she has that kind of power.
Misses 2 balls and a strike. Two and one. Hard grounder left side of the infield, deflected off of Vandersloot, headed home and out. What a throw from the left fielder as Summer LaRue gets gunned down. Jada Rogers, the freshman out and left, showed off the cannon.
Boy, what a throw from left field. I just perfectly charged that ball, came up throwing, knew where she needed to go with that ball, and easily throws out LaRue.
I'm going to go 6-7-2 on that put out as Summer LaRue thrown out at the plate. We head to the bottom of the 7th, a 1-run game. The last chance for Grandview Christian. Tie this game up or to win it and move into the winner's bracket.
Hey, Frank. Oh, it looks like you spilled some grease.
Grills are multiplying and you need flavor that's bold.
There's nothing left for you to do
but to go to Fairway, your dream for Midwest meat. It's the one you need. Oh, yes, indeed. Oh, you better stake up. Fairway and meat go hand in hand.
This dream is meant for you and me.
Poultry, pork, and beef, your home for Midwest meat. It's the one you need. Oh, yes, indeed. Oh, yes, indeed.
Fairway, it's the one you need.
First pitch missing inside to Maya Murphy as we are in the bottom of the 7th. 2-3-4 due up in the lineup for Grandview Christian as the Thunder 1 run in the first, 2 runs in the 5th inning and trail by a run. It's a called strike, so 1-1 the count.
This is where you want to be. These top 5 hitters, we're starting out with the number 2 hitter in the lineup, but these top 5 hitters for Grandview over regional play, hitting over 500, 24 for 47, 20 RBIs on those top 5 hitters. So this is exactly where they want to be, the hitters that have been getting on base and producing.
You have 6 different players that hit over 435. 9 returning starters from the 2025 team. Murphy, one of those players, batting average of .543. Swings at strike 2, so 2-2 the count. Hickenbottom in the circle. Tries to get Murphy to chase one up. The count runs full. McLean Hickenbottom, 8 strikeouts.
And she's thinking about this one, and taking a little extra walk around the circle, knowing that she does not want to put this leadoff runner on.
Trying to protect a 1-run lead. Here's the 3-2 to Murphy, called strike 3.
You could see the emotion from Hickenbottom, and served her well to take a minute to gather her thoughts, and before she stepped on that rubber, made the perfect pitch and gets the strikeout.
Murphy goes down looking. That is the 9th strikeout of the game, and Sophie Bird is now in the batter's box for Grandview Christian. Bird scored a run in the 5th inning. Bunted a run in the 1st inning.
Foul ball from one of the other fields as we have 2 other fields going besides this one.
There's the 1-0. Foul tip into the catcher's mitt, 1-1. Nice setup here. The high netting up behind the backstop and netting that covers the stands. This is popped up and may be playable for the catcher. And Surter, how about that? That's a tough play for the catcher.
A lot of things happening there. You're trying to see if it's still going to be in play. It was straight up the chute. She had to contend with the netting. The backstop, kept her eye on it, threw the mask away, reached out and grabbed it.
So 2 outs and Grandview Christian down to their final out. And Chloe Cox will step in and try and start a rally here in the 7th. First pitch low in the zone. Cox is 1 for 3. A single to left field in the 5th inning. She would be, or the runner for her. Larwick was stranded at third in that 5th inning.
Has some pop in her bat, so can hit the ball out if she gets a pitch that she can handle.
Cox with 5 home runs on the season, 10 doubles this year, has a couple triples as well. And with 2 outs, the bottom of the 7th, down a run. You're thinking solid contact, try and find a way to get on, and yeah, you happen to hit one out too, right?
Yeah. Couple of thoughts going through. But you just want to keep the lineup moving and make solid contact, make the defense have to make that play, and see if you can continue to get your teammates to the plate.
Fouled straight back. 2 balls and a strike. Some high fives in the press box up here. Pesky fly on the logo goes down.
Somebody got the fly.
2 balls, 2 strikes now. Swing and miss by Cox. So Grandview Christian down to their final strike. Cox the batter. Here's the 2-2. Popped up right side of the infield. And a long run and a great catch made by Sanner, the first baseman. And the 8-seeded Cardinal Comets get the win 4-3 over Grandview Christian.
Sanner had to just dance around a little bit. That one, I think the wind played a little havoc with it as this one goes straight up. You can see Sanner having to make that long run and pull it in to secure the victory.
Well, that is our final score, 4-3. The Cardinal Comets get it done. 1 run by both teams, Laura, in the first inning. A 3-run 4th inning by Cardinal. A 2-run 5th inning by Grandview Christian. And a couple of fantastic pitching performances as McLean Hickenbottom. How about her 9 strikeouts in this contest?
I think she's done it all tournament trail long. She's been able to get those key strikeouts when she's needed to. They've been able to get out of jams, and boy, did they capitalize when they had the opportunities to knock runs in.
All right, and Macklin Hickenbottom advances the Cardinal into the winner's bracket. They will come back and play tomorrow, and that will do it here for our 2A opener. Fun game. We're underway, Laura.
Great game and a lot of action, and that's what I think you're going to see all week long here at the state tournament.
All right, all Class 2A action and all the classes 2A action is continuing all week long here on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy. For Laura Leonard and our entire crew, you are watching the Iowa Girls State Softball Tournament presented by